Hi everyone, welcome to my little zone in the internet. I'm Zay. Today is gonna be an informative experience for both me and you. You because you're getting all my information, like we're gonna talk about IBS, my symptoms, how I healed it, look the process that went to it, the recovery process as well, and I'll give some general maintenance tips to help you get going and also share some of my results with the work I've done. And it's gonna be an informative experience for me because I'm trying a new style of creating those videos. So let me know if you like it. So, first things first, I must say I'm not a doctor, disclaimer, like, I might be doing something wrong. I just wanted to open a discussion and explore the problem together because I think I found something interesting. Let's define IBS so we're all on the same page. So, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, is a common condition that affects the digestive system. According to the NHS, it is caused by symptoms like stomach cramps, bloating, diarrhea, and constipation. These tend to come and go over time and can last for days, weeks, months at a time. It's usually lifelong. In my experience, it's been a lifelong thing. I feel like, okay, no, actually, it's been for like 2 years, maybe. I'm not sure, like, I don't know what exactly triggered it, but in my personal opinion, also backed by some psychologists, I think Dr. K talked about it, is that IBS is actually caused by emotional related issues. Like, it's related to trauma maybe you grew up with, pent up emotions. I had a lot of pent up emotions in my case, and also PTSD. So yeah, it was kind of difficult to navigate. So some symptoms I had were regurgitating after every single meal. Like, it was crazy and actually embarrassing to have been throwing up all the time. And also I felt like when food goes down my like digestive tract, it's like getting stuck at some point, like kind of below the solar plexus, solar plexus, below my like chest, below my ribs, kind of. I don't know, between that area. And I also always had an upset stomach, which roared all the time. The noises, the voices, they were so bad. Anyways. And yeah, awful farts as well, and awful diarrhea, awful, basically bathroom experiences, I would say. So I'll talk more on the whole process thing. So how did my first breakthrough actually happen? My first breakthrough, I would say, was in the summer, but the most significant one was one that happened like a few weeks ago. So I was meditating because I meditate every night. I discovered some tightness, okay? And I called on the pain to come up, okay? Right? Like I was feeling it. Then my chest started feeling tighter. And I don't think my chest was like loose then tightened up. I think it actually was that I was always feeling tight, but I wasn't paying attention to my body because I tend to disconnect from my body and the pain I'm feeling. Anyway, so first step, meditation to discover your emotions. Second step, I did some journaling. So I try to discover the underlying emotion and stress. I was journaling about like something, I think, around fear of rejection and having to prove shit to people. Like, I was journaling about that. So yeah, third step was like in between the writing, I'll feel very intense emotions. So basically what I did is I would do EFT tapping, basically, and I'll link a video to that, and also affirm to myself, like, so I'll tap on certain points in my body, and I'll affirm to myself, we don't have to prove anything, you don't have to prove anything. Maybe I'll do some bridging affirmations, like, even though I feel anxious, I understand that I don't have to prove anything. Okay, so that's how I went. This is the third step. So yeah, after I tap, I just sat with the emotions. So kind of like a mini meditation, and like I felt my emotions moving around my chest, abdomen area. It's kind of weird. Like I don't know how to explain, but like I was feeling stuff inside me. Okay, and then what I did was stretch my body, wiggle around, trying to figure out some ways to open my heart space and my abdomen and stuff. And like I did this twice, I'd say. Like I said, summer was the first time I did it. Like I really utilized meditations and stretching in order to like move the emotions around basically, because I didn't want them to get stuck in my chest area. I wanted them to move up, like up to my head, so I can feel them and release them. And that's what happened in summer 2023, which was very emotionally healing for me. So I was just meditating and trying to move my body, arch my back in certain ways so I can open up my heart and chest area. And I remember I had an emotional flashback. So that's one of the things that could happen when you release the emotions. It could be an emotional flashback. In my case, it felt lonely, scary, and dark. Like, even though I was meditating with my eyes open, the lights were on. I remember in that moment, for those few seconds, I was just in a dark place and also felt younger. Like, I didn't feel like me, who was like 18 at the time. I felt like I was maybe 5 years old. Like, I felt my body being smaller. So yeah, it was interesting. So this is the first way you can experience the release. Second way, which is the way it went last week, is it was a somatic release. So instead of an emotional flashback, I released it through my body. So I didn't exactly feel that much. I did feel it, but like it wasn't a flashback. I didn't feel it in my head. I felt it mostly in my body. And my somatic release was burping. I remember I burped like maybe 3-4 times, and each burp like opened my heart chest area more and more. So it was kind of crazy. Yeah, regarding the process, I would say the affirmations help a lot too. Like whenever I sat in silence or maybe in the bus on my rides home and to uni, and I just focused on the affirmations, sitting with the affirmations, I felt a lot of opening too. Like I had a few burps during that time, which were embarrassing because I was burping in public and I couldn't control it. But I also healed a lot. Like I felt a lot of opening was happening, and I'm actually gonna make a video on affirmations for manifesting because I feel like I have a good routine with it and I'd love to share it, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'd also say the process was really supported. Like it wasn't what I'm trying to say, it's not a once in a time thing. Like I said, first time I did it was in the summer, second time was in the spring time, so it's not like it happened immediately after. And I could have done more to like induce that through meditation and journaling and EFT tapping, but I feel like one of the things that really helped me is just spiritual and religious connection. Like I used to pray all the time, I used to read Quran all the time, and yeah, I feel like these activities just help me stay connected to my soul. Meditation, yoga, other stuff help me stay connected to my body. So yeah, I feel like it's just important to establish that connection even if you don't see any benefit from it. It's just a very grounding experience. Like when you take care of yourself, you allow your body to relax so it can trust you and go deeper and stuff. It takes a while for that to happen, like for the inner work to actually happen, but when it happens, you will be so thankful because like your body can now handle the pain that is coming up. Like I think a few months ago, me was not ready to handle the realizations I had, the rejection I felt, the people who were side eyeing me, not wanting to spend time with me, and who I actually didn't want to spend time with, but I was just in so much need of validation. I didn't allow myself to actually be honest with myself. So, yeah, I'm gonna talk more about the recovery process and like what type of pain to expect, because it was so painful first day. Like I had random pain shooting up, like I don't know, it felt like needles across my body. I remember it was across my back, across my chest, but especially my back. Like I remember I had random pain everywhere, anywhere. If anyone is a doctor, help me understand what this was about. But yeah, first day into second day was when I felt that. I don't feel that anymore. I also felt more acidity in my vomit. I wouldn't say it was 100% gone, but it was reduced, and yeah, there was more acidity towards it. I don't feel like it's because I have still, like, I've cleared a knot, kinda, that is, like I said, below the solar plexus and like below my ribs around my heart space, but I feel like there's still another knot that is in my stomach. Like I can kind of feel it. Like every time I breathe into it, I can feel it. Okay, and like I felt like my body was so tender. Like when I burped those somatic release type burps, I felt like I was using a different part of my body. Like it wasn't the same feelings. It was very different and very interesting, honestly. Like I felt like there was a part of my body that opened up that I wasn't using at all. There's some muscles that felt so tender, like I never used them in a long while. I also did like I guess a third session, you'd say. A session like that, like a week later, where I explored and limiting belief. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something related to my interpersonal problems, right? And I remember I had intense crying happen during that. Like I cried like never before. I do have like a video guide on limiting belief. It's a two-part series, so feel free to check that out. And yeah, I had intense crying, like I said. Like I never cry in general, and I was vomiting. I don't know, I don't think it's bile because it was like clear, but it was also acidic, so I was just vomiting, 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 and that could have been my somatic release. Now moving on to my general maintenance tips. Let's talk about it. So like I said, self-care activities are important because it helps you stay grounded and dig deeper, like I said. Second thing I'd say is you have to fix your posture to allow for better breathing. Like sometimes the energy inside me doesn't want to move because I'm not allowing it. I'm like sitting in a hunched over position, in a weird ass position. Like, how am I supposed to allow things to move? Even during sleeping, I've noticed like sometimes I sleep like straight, like instead of like curling in into a fetus position, I'm sleeping in weird, like kind of straight, low key position, and it allows me to breathe better. And yeah, like I mentioned in my reprogramming video, I listen to sleep affirmations, so it's like helps me absorb them better. I feel like it just helps me sleep better. Of course, I'm not sleeping the entire night in a straight, like an iron board position, but it does help. So try to sit in a better position. Try to explore your body, what feels good for your lungs, what feels good for your digestive tract to facilitate better breathing. And I'd say move a lot. Like I said, stretching, wiggling around is what helped me release a lot of the tightness. So moving a lot is a must. The fourth one is to drink lots of water. I have some water here, and that reminded me, just drinking the water, of why it's so good. Is because it just helps clear the tract, clear the digestive tract. Helps you kinda, if you sit with it, like mindfully observe the water going down, you can kind of feel which points are of contention. Like now I can feel that my left I don't know, boob, I don't know, under my boobs is like kind of uncomfortable. My stomach, like I said, is kind of in a knot. Okay, so water kind of helps with that. Another one that is really important is to deep breathe to your stomach. Like, I feel like most of us don't know how to breathe. We just take like very short breaths, and breathing is kind of, it's not kind of, it's actually correlated to your emotions. So if you want to stay grounded, that was my bottle popping. But anyways, if you want to stay grounded in your state, so you can allow for deep inner work, because inner work doesn't happen in survival mode. You have to start deep breathing to your stomach. I actually want you to try inhaling and exhaling quickly. Notice how you're feeling. Are you feeling safe? Are you feeling grounded? No, I'm betting that breathing faster makes you feel more anxious. So now try to deep breathe. So one breath in as much as you can from your nose. Release. Like, tell me, how do you feel? Like, do it a few times and tell me how you feel. So yeah, like, your emotions influence your breathing, and your breathing influences your emotions, so it's kind of like a feedback loop, so pay attention to that. Also, another thing that helps with deep breathing is just wearing clothes for comfort, which I feel like is so obvious, but sometimes I forget. Sometimes I tighten up some pants too much, and it just doesn't help. So yeah, I will give you the permission to just dress for comfort, okay? Also, another thing I recommend is eating slowly. So I struggle with that one a lot, so I don't blame you. And I feel like it's kind of the trigger for my IBS. It's kind of helped facilitate it. I'm not saying it wasn't there before, but when I started doing that in high school, like eating at superhuman speed, I kind of asked for it. So I'm kind of still working on it. It's not 100% fixed, but even though I like still eat at a similar speed, I don't experience as much symptoms. And yeah, last thing I want to let you know is to not get too obsessed with healing fast and just let things flow naturally. I feel like for me, I was too obsessed with like having the next breakthrough, having the next breakthrough. Don't get obsessed with it. I used to be so obsessed, like every day I have to have a breakthrough, but now I realize like life is about living. Just let things happen naturally. They will happen, they will come. Now I'm gonna share some results. I wanna share some results because I wanna help you stay motivated, and also me. Like, I'm gonna rewatch this part. Like, I wanna remember how good I felt, how good Zay felt after these somatic releases. So first of all, less symptoms in general, like less vomiting, less regurgitating, less problems in like the bathroom, okay? Less of that. Sometimes I do get them like intensely, but I think it's more reflective of the fact that I have some stuck energy. Like when I release, they get better. Second result is more open chest and abdomen area. Like I said, like I feel like these knots in my chest and abdomen are untying little by little every day. I can feel my body more. Like I feel more alive, you know? Like like I said, I felt more of the pain that time, and sometimes I wonder like was that pain always there in my body and now I'm just paying attention to it, I'm just feeling it. But in general, like even let's say temperature, I feel temperature more, I feel sensations better. Like if someone hits me, hopefully not, I can feel it more. Okay, if someone touches me, I would feel it more. If I step into the cold, I feel it more. I used to not feel it that much, and I feel like ever since I started my healing journey, my sensitivity for temperature is starting to increase, which is amazing. I can also feel my bodily processes, which is crazy. Like I can feel my digestion happening. I can feel my muscles moving around, contracting and stuff. I can feel also my heart beating, which is crazy because I didn't feel it all the time. I also feel more vibrations. Like sometimes I feel vibrated, like good vibrations or bad. I don't know. So yeah, I feel my organs more in general on what they're doing down there in there. So yeah, like I said, the open chest, the abdomen area helps me now breathe better. Like it's so crazy because like talking is now easier for me, especially like low talking whispers. Like I can speak softly. I can also like project my voice better. I used to think like a part of me not being able to sing properly, read Quran properly in front of people was anxiety, and it probably is a part of it. But I feel like when I released these blockages, like speaking, reciting, singing, just all became so much easier. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough. Like, I feel so much more connected to my body, to my mind, to my soul. I'm more connected to my intuition and creativity. I'm more intuitive. I feel like ideas were pouring out of me. Like when I first did the exercise, like I remember that day I couldn't sleep, guys. Like I was just coming up with these insane ideas and doing these voice recordings for them to help create like actual documents or videos about them. I also feel like since I was talking about the fear of rejection, the idea of not having to prove anything, that I became more fearless. Like I just don't care anymore. I don't care what you think of me. I don't care how this comes across. I'm gonna let you know. Okay, like that's the vibe we're vibing with. Okay. I feel like I'm more authentic, natural, and spontaneous. I'm more honest and assertive, and less people pleasing in general when it comes to relationships, which is always a great bonus. I feel like I'm more joyful and present in my body, in my mind, in my soul. Like I'm less anxious about the future. It feels like everything is gonna just figure itself out. And I guess I'm better at manifesting because like manifesting is really a somatic process. You have to be connected to your thoughts also. So yeah, I think it's just helping me. Like the ideas are flowing amazingly, and that's it. Like that's my process. That's how it worked out for me. I hope it works the same way for you guys. See you soon, my loves. Bye bye.